Kia ora, morena, I should say, planting seeds. Tēnā rā koutou. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing the Planting Seeds podcast to be a part of your experience as you're tuning in. And today is a new day. Those of you who are perhaps going through some things, today can be seen as a reset. Today can be seen as a space for you to be able to return to self, to be able to sit and to be able to breathe, to be able to rest so that you can then move into the responsibilities that you have. And that's a huge one. We all have so much responsibilities in life, whether it's being a parent, being in mahi, and a lot of those things tend to take a lot of our energy. And so when we can create the space and time just to be able to check in, to be able to plug in, to really feel where you are within yourself so that you're able to authentically be more expressive in what it is that you're doing, as opposed to trying to spin all of the plates, as it gets to a point where that imbalance can completely rock your socks, where a sense of burnout might be a part of your experience, or even just being triggered, being irritated. All of those kinds of things are signs that our cup is empty. So hopefully every time that you come here into Planting Seeds, it's a reminder for you to be able to check in with self and to give you that nudge and that encouragement to say that filling your cup is where you should be putting and prioritizing your focus each and every day. Each and every day. It doesn't have to be like clockwork, but it could be something that just becomes a part of your day because it's the natural thing to do, is to look after self. Because the more aroha and the more that you give to self, the more capacity you have to be able to do what it is that you do and do it as best as you can. And I was having a conversation in the kōrero with some really good friends yesterday, and it's a part of a rōpū where I just feel completely safe in. And we've been doing this mahi together for a long time, and you can go in and you don't have to have this feeling of being like you're the one with all of the answers, or you're the one that is there to do all of the serving. It's actually quite a mixture where you can just be there to receive. And one of the awesome kōrero that came out that I clocked was from Ray Ray. And she said that there's that whakatauki where it says aroha mai, aroha atu. And she languaged it in a way that, you know, to serve others is to serve yourself. But however, there's another way of looking at that. And it's coming back to that kōrero around the more love you give to yourself, the more love you have to give to others. And I really, really like that, because I think that is such an awesome thought process, but also just another truth that if we do have aroha for ourselves, if our cup is full, then man, the quality of service and the amount of selflessness that is within that, because it's the overflow, and it's a lot easier to do rather than having an empty cup and serving or giving to then fill your cup. It's just another different way of looking at things. And I just feel that languaging around being selfish and doing things for yourself, we can really challenge that in a healthy way by giving ourselves the permission to give to self, to love self, to create space for self. And so that's where the energy shift has been for me, as I've been sharing a lot more over these past few weeks around just where I am within myself and how I'm coming out of, you know, what was seen as a dark night of the soul. But there have been a few themes that I've been privy to since coming open, as well as just the conversations that I have been having. And one of the things that I do want to speak into is just one of the main shifts that have come forward within myself. And the main one is that there has been a lot of energy over the years in building my personal brand, sharing a lot on my personal socials on Instagram. And one of the main things that is really clear to me is that moving from sharing more in the personal space and wanting to be more present here on the Planting Seeds podcast and building the community of what this has grown into. And so what does that look like? That looks like me just being more of a face in the Planting Seeds podcast, as opposed to it just being just about podcast drops. I'm wanting to create more around the actual platform of planting seeds, and me just engaging more with the community, with people, listening, interacting with comments, and even looking to engage the community so that everyone can be a part of what this platform is. So it's more than just podcast episodes, looking to bring back vlogs, looking to bring a lot more micro content, looking to do more community engagements. And so there's a lot of things that have been bouncing around inside of my thinking, and even just feedback that I've been receiving from people. So expect to see different different kinds of forms of content that align to the podcast platform. And you all here that are engaging in the long form it's just really, really helpful and meaningful to know that there are people just wanting to listen to the extended rather than just the micro. So every comment that you put in, if there's suggestions that you have, please put them into the comments, and that could look like things that you would like to see from the Planting Seeds podcast. It also could be guests. It could also be areas to visit and kaupapa that I could uplift and shed light on in terms of having conversations with some awesome kaupapa around them or two. So that's a recent revelation, and I tell you what, it is pretty hard, the psychological and mental shift that is required to move from sharing personal to moving into building a platform. And I'm just in that phase of transition because, I'm usually an oversharer. And what I've learned from this year is that there are some things that don't need to be shared publicly, and there are parts of my journey that I could almost just keep private or be more mindful around where I'm sharing certain information. And that could be in like this podcast sessions, such as the Grow With Me episodes. I'm okay to share in these spaces, the spaces I facilitate, or even just safe spaces where, it's just me and a few people or friends. And so rather than it being more public on a platform like my personal social media, because I realize that that just leaves me open a little bit. And what I mean by that is that if there's a lot of information out there and I'm not doing things in an appropriate manner of keeping myself safe, then the shortcoming or the breakdown could happen again. And so these are just some boundaries that I'm putting in place to ensure that I'm keeping myself safe, but also just being able to direct energy in spaces that align with the direction that I'm going in. And building out the Planting Seeds podcast is a big part of that. Now, it doesn't mean to say that I'm stopping sharing on my personal. It's just what I'm sharing and how I'm sharing is shifting. And so that gives me more energy and bandwidth in my mind to be able to be more creative in the Planting Seeds podcast, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify and things of that nature. So it's going to take me a little while, but I'm really interested and definitely keen to pour the energy required into the space. And so that's that pānui. The other thing is that this is a Q&A kind of episode too, because I put out a poll, I put out a question box to see if there was anyone who had any questions or have any thoughts or would like some kind of perspective shared on it, and have had a couple come through. So I'm just going to take this time to get those questions and just share some kōrero on it. So the first one is from one of the sisters, Letitia, who's part of Seeds of Self, the online community, and she says, I know you've mentioned before you spend an hour of quality time with your babies a day, just being present. This is something I really want to do with my boy. Maybe, how does that look for you? What sort of things do you get up to, and how you stay consistent with it? And so I've been sharing a lot within Seeds of Self just around my intentions as well as just my structure, as I shared in the last episode. And one of those is just spending quality time with my babies and my whānau. The biggest thing that I've found within my challenges within quality time is actually just having a device or not being prepared enough with my mahi. And so, what I'm doing at the moment to give me that quality time is doing things like what I'm doing now, as it's 5 o'clock in the morning, my whānau's still asleep. So, if I can get up before they wake up and I can pour energy into my mahi to get me ahead so that I'm able to get all of the things that I need to do mahi wise out of the way. The other thing is when they get home, I am looking to prioritize doing something straight away. So that could be taking them for a ride on the scooter, going for a walk, going to the park, or even just playing around with them at home. But the main thing is actually just getting them out, because I've realized with my big boy especially is that if I'm not busy with him, that's when things start to get a little bit irritable for him, where he's either starting to act out, his voice is being raised, or he starts to be naughty. But it's not him being naughty, it's just him wanting that attention. And if I'm busy still trying to do mahi, that's when I can get a little bit short too. And so for me, it's just really trying to create the space that if I'm prioritizing being present with my kids at least an hour more if possible, then I need to get all the things that I need to do out of the way. Because if I need to do things and then kids are wanting my attention, that's when things can escalate for myself. So my responsibility is clearing space. Is clearing space so that when they do get home from kura, I'm able to fully just be present with them and be active with them. The other component with that actually is I like to finish my work in the mornings at, say, 8 o'clock. So that gives me 3 hours of uninterrupted time. Then I go in and then I help out with the morning shift, helping out with the breakfast if I need to get them changed, or even just having some playtime before dropping them off to kohanga. And so then from kohanga to the afternoon, that's a lot of time where I'm wanting to get my training session in. Is something that I realized last week, is that there were days where I just worked all the way through and then I trained once they got home, and then that disrupted their quality time. And so I need to get my training in while they're away at kohanga, and I need to complete all of the tasks and mahi that I have on, so that when they do get home, boom, I can just be papa mode and also just spend time with the whānau. So that's what I'm doing there. The other thing is just device. If I can also just put the device away and just not even have it around, then boom, I am just more present. And that not only gives them the attention and fills their cup, but that fills my cup too as a papa, is just knowing that I'm having that time with them and we're enjoying ourselves rather than butting heads. So I hope that helps, Letitia. Create space, get things that you need to do out of the way early, and just move away from device. If you need to put it into a different room, do that. And if you're feeling like you're having the urge to distract yourself, that becomes the practice. Do things that you enjoy as well. So you could either go for a walk, or you could involve them in some of the practices that you like to do. So there are different ways to go about it, but that's just how I'm choosing to do it. Is one, create the space, minimize distractions, and make it about them. Got another question, and this one is from the bro Mark Graham. He says, how do you tell the difference between growth discomfort and retraumatisation? That is a big question and a loaded question, and it took me a while to actually, I guess, find some thoughts and some perspective around this. And so for me, the growth and discomfort feels more of a pull towards. So that's when you're testing those edges. That's when you're getting outside of your comfort zone and you're feeling the desire to want to stretch. And the re-traumatization is almost like you're forcing and you're rushing, and then that creates an element of unsafety. And so those are the differences that I feel, is that when you're in that journey of growth and discomfort, you're feeling like this. The two emotions that come to mind is you're feeling nervous and excited. And with those two coming together, for me, it's a tohu, it's a sign that you're going in the right direction. And so growth and discomfort feels like that. But when you're looking at retraumatization, you're feeling this element of unsafety, and you're also feeling maybe even the pressure, or even the sense of, agitation. And so what that looks like are two different energies and two different experiences. And you want to lean more towards the growth and discomfort. The re-traumatization is a way for you to be able to be like, yo, that's there, but maybe I don't have capacity to be able to really look at that. And so in the journey of growth and discomfort, you're building capacity. You're becoming more aware of yourself. You're learning where your boundaries are. You're knowing that you're journeying into different spaces, different terrain, but there's this awareness that you're okay. When you start to dabble in this re-traumatization, you don't have the capacity, and that can be more harmful than actual helpful. The great thing about both areas, though, is that when you have the awareness of yourself, you're able to either create ways to regulate. You can be in supportive spaces to support you if you've gone too far. But the great thing about it is that you now know what is there and what is bubbling. Just leave it and just park it, but look at this area of filling your cup so that you're able to have the strength to be able to revisit it at a point that allows you for it to transmute into something that is just part of your growth journey. And that's what happens, and that's what naturally unfolds, is the more that you build the muscle in this journey of being uncomfortable, the things that were very, very traumatic become just something that you're able to handle and look at differently. But that comes through the practice and the awareness of what it is that you're going through intentionally and deliberately over here, rather than the surprise of revisiting something that has been a traumatic experience in your life. And so hope that answers your question, brother, and something that has happened for me. And, just as recent as just this year, I could probably say that it was a re-traumatization, because an experience imploded that surfaced old patterns, old behaviors, as well as just things that I haven't fully processed from trauma or wretched experiences. And so those are unexpected, but it gives us a touch point of what's there, so that then we come to the tried and truths of what we learn in the growth and discomfort, filling up your cup, being in supportive spaces, unpacking your thoughts and emotions, putting your thoughts out on paper, all of the training, whatever it looks like. And then boom, once you get to that point, you start to see why that came up and how you can look at it differently, or the things that you can work on in the space. And so that's our Grow With Me episode. E te whānau, we've got our bio gold here. Please use it. And honestly, 15% off. That helps you. It helps me. And it also is just something that I truly believe in. We still got spaces in our Seeds of Life community space, and it's active at the moment, and there's a lot of cool things happening. We've got our first Seeds of Life wānanga scheduled in for the end of February. So if you come into Seeds of Self, the wāna or the community, you get direct access to that wānanga, that retreat that's happening at the end of February. The other thing is Brother to Brother, that is happening for all of the brothers, or for brothers that are open here in the Bay of Plenty, to come into an online space, as well as into a wānanga that's kicking off in the beginning of February. So there are two things there. Use the link below to schedule a call to express your interest. Grateful for the two bros who did do that last week, where I was able to have one-on-ones, check in, and then also funnel them into spaces that align with them. And so people are using it, people are plugging in, and that's what the space is for. I runga I tērā, ngā mihi nui. Share in the comments what was a highlight for you. Like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. That's us. We on. Have a great week. Get te whānau. Che che.